Why do passports look the way they do? No, seriously, where did this come from and why did each country choose the color that they did? For example, the US passport is blue, yet countries like Russia and Switzerland is red. Even more bizarre is that there are only 4 colors that each country uses. Why? Well, what is good, YouTube fam? It is JP Buffett here, and in this video we'll be talking about the meaning behind passport colors. In the simplest terms, a passport is an official travel document that is issued to a person by a government that is a proof of their identity and their nationality. It also allows, well, potentially allows them to get access to their host country. For example, the United States passport allows you to enter about 186 countries visa-free or sort of, while Tunisia only allows you to enter 71 visa-free. So passports definitely have their differences, but how does this explain their colors? In today's world, there are 4 passport color variants. These are blue, red, green, and black. While these are the colors, what is the significance behind them? For example, if you're a citizen of the United States, then many countries in the Americas, then the color is blue. This could be because of potential shared history, but the United States, their passport wasn't always blue. At many times it had different variants. For example, in the early 1900s, it was actually green before it switched to a variant of the blue color in 1976, also matching the United States flag. So it didn't happen to always be blue. And while there isn't any international standard for passports, there is a UN governing body called the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO, that basically makes suggestions on how passports should operate across borders. Beyond this, passport colors seem pretty arbitrary. However, when you look at it closer, they can provide insights into history, politics, diplomatic relations, cultural identity, and more. So let's look at the different color variants and try to uncover the meaning behind the colors. We'll start with the most common passport out there, and that is the blue passport. Like I said earlier, this is the color that is used by the United States, but it is also used by many other countries throughout the Americas, including Canada and many South American nations. I have read in a few places that the blue passport symbolizes freedom, loyalty, and stability, but I honestly feel like this is a bit of propaganda, but that is what it says. The passport has also been linked to the New World, and basically is the ocean that connects them. Again, this is not something that I can independently verify, but it is pretty interesting if it is true. We're now going to switch over to the second most prevalent passport color, and that is red. This is particularly prevalent in the European Union, and like I said earlier, passports are a way of signifying politics as well as diplomatic relations. Countries throughout the EU have a harmonized passport color that includes some variant on burgundy, and this is done to signify membership to the European Union. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please show the like button some love. Don't hit it, just click it. Thank you for helping out the channel. But getting back to it. Countries that are not part of the EU but are trying to gain access to the EU, like Turkey for example, would actually make their passports in a similar color as a way to show their interest in being part of that overall group and establish their potential membership into the EU. On the other hand, you have countries that are not part of the EU but also use a variant of the color red. Like in my previous example, I listed Russia and Switzerland. In the case of Switzerland, similar to the United States, their passport is related to their flag in some way. So there is symbolism behind this passport. On the other hand, Russia, as well as many other Eastern European nations, have red passports. This can be because of their shared history. This basically history being related to the United Soviet Socialist Republic, or the USSR, or Soviet Union. There is an idea that red is associated with power, strength, patriotism, so take that as you will. But yeah, this will conclude the red passport, and we only have 2 more to go, so let's get into them. So now let's move on to the green passport. And when I usually think of green, I think of the American Express card, but that is not what this video is about. So when we look at the green passport, we're actually looking at mostly cultural or regional ties that bring this group together. For example, let's look at the Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Morocco. This is because the color green holds religious significance to Islam, and in the Quran it is said that this is associated with paradise. So Islamic nations could use this color as a way to highlight their heritage, culture, and religious identity by emphasizing their connection with the Islamic faith. Outside of this, there are also West African nations that use the color green to show their connection between the different nations. And while in the Americas, Mexico has a dark green passport, and this is kind of similar to their flag. So finally, we're going to talk about black passports. These are the most rare, and usually United States diplomats have black passports, but outside of this, these are honestly not really that used, and the countries that do use them can be found in places like Zambia. A common theme that has been used to the black passports is that they can hide dirt very well, and I guess this is pretty good because you don't want your passports to be dirty. But yeah, I wasn't able to find much about why nations used the colors they did, but it is what it is, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. By the way, if you are enjoying this video and you enjoy videos related to points, miles, and travel, show the subscribe button some love. Remember, don't hit it, just click it. And now, while these might be the colors that nations use and there might be the reasonings behind them, some nations do deviate from these traditional colors. We can think of Turkey again, for example. Turkey is an Islamic country, so you would expect by convention that they would have a green passport to match other Islamic nations. Yet, as we know, it is a red passport, and that's because they are trying to assimilate with the EU. Also, it is important to note, and I must stress this, that passport colors do change over time, like we saw with the passport from the United States. And in some cases, a change in government or a nation's rebranding might prompt it to shift passport colors. Again, we can think of the United States and the green passport. Additionally, diplomatic relationships between countries might influence their passport colors. Again, we're talking about nations like Turkey. If two nations share close elite alliances or have historical ties, they might adopt similar passports colors to show this relationship. While there is no international standard, passport colors serve as a visual representation of a nation's uniqueness. I find them truly elegant, and every page tells a different story about a different place that a person has visited. The history of passports is a long and tricky one. Trust me, I was trying to find it when I was making this video. But remember, when you go on your next international trip, take a look at all the passports around you, and you might see that there's more than meets the eye. But if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one next, because I think you'll enjoy it. And of course, guys, until next time, peace.